though there's news that will come out on TV, like okay, this morning, um, there's bloody the streets in Hong Kong because of the last night's rebellion. So it's not really that surprising anymore.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like okay, it's like just what happens in what I call this in Middle East, in the Middle East Asia,
Ah,
like
yes,
in
yes,
Libya. And so like what's happening with all the refugees in Syria. So even though those news would still come out, we are not that surprised anymore because we know how dangerous it is in Middle East.
yes. Just the Middle East.
Yeah, so it's all the same thing with Hong Kong. We're not surprised anymore. And even though I feel like, especially with, when I hear and listen to North Korea, like
Yes,
news from North Korea that, okay, North Korea is facing, like its nuclear weapon is facing America again, or it's facing Japan. I feel like it's not surprising anymore.
yes,
I mean, like you get scared, but it's not like what I'm so scared. Yeah,
yes. It's not common at the Asia, right?
yeah,
Oh,
it's insane.
yes.
So,
Oh,
by the way, um how is the weather right now in Taiwan?
no, it's cloudy and getting colder.
I
It's
bet.
almost winter.
Oh, I see. So do
So,
people need to also go and how do I say it? Like, do people also need to wrap themselves up during winter because it's too cold? Does it get really does it get really cold in winter there in Taiwan even though it doesn't snow?
no, 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 no.
Mm,
So we in Taiwan, uh, the weather is very nice. So even in winter,
mm,
we we have few times to wear the what that means. Okay, we just wear a jacket or
okay,
or
so you
the
just wear a jacket, like a simple jacket, not like
yeah
a very thick jacket.
yeah, not the heavy that.
Oh.
So I think maybe yes. So but how about in Philippines?
We don't have winter.
Oh really?
Yeah, we're closer to the equator, so we don't really have winter. We're really a tropical country.
Oh
Yeah, so we only get rainy seasons and sunny seasons or summer.
oh. So even in December, you what what's the uh weather?
Nope, we don't.
You don't? Oh
Yeah.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. So what's the lowest temperature in December?
Um, the coldest probably is I think it would go down to like probably 24 degrees Celsius. I don't know, it depends on the place.
Oh,
Yeah.
24?
Yeah. At least it would get cold, but for what I can remember, for the past years, especially when I came back from America, it wasn't that cold anymore.
Yes.
Well, when you go outside, it's kind of cold, but not really that cold. So I don't think it gets, I feel like people people's expectation when they come here that it would also really be cold, but no. It doesn't. I
Oh
mean, it gets cold, but not so cold.
oh, really?
Mm.
So what's the difference?
What do you mean by difference?
What's the difference of the the definition of cold in U.S. or in Asia area? Yes.
Well, if you consider also, of course, like the geographical location of our country, like I could say that, um, I could say like probably for a definition for someone who's from America, when they come here, it's not that cold. But for someone who's from here, um, but for someone who's from here, probably for the past few years, because it's been also really cold. So I think probably you can also say that it's not that cold anymore. I don't know how to define it. I will, like
Oh,
it's not bone chilling anymore.
bone chilling?
Yeah, like you don't, sometimes when you get really cold, you feel like you're shivering, like your mouth is shivering, like it's move, I mean there's this movements in your mouth like a right?
Oh,
So I mean like people don't feel it anymore. Like it's kind of breezy, it's kind of nice actually when you go outside.
uh-huh. Oh,
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of nice when you go outside and you I don't know, and it's nice to go and walk around.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so it's really nice though. If you don't want to be really that cold, I think it's nice to come here. My cousins from Australia, because it's different from Australia. In Australia, what happens is that in Australia, in December, that's when it gets really hot. So in December for them is in their country, I should say, is summer.
Oh,
Yeah, so they get cold weather in April, but in December that's when they get really hot.
warmer?
They get really hot during that time, and so that's when they come here in the Philippines. They like spending Christmas here in the Philippines because it's cold.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's totally different, right?
Totally different. Because you have to also remember that the earth revolves. So for them in their country, it's summertime. While people are celebrating Christmas with cold weather, for them it's summertime.
Oh, that's true.
Mhm. Yep.
So your brother's still in Australia now?
My what?
Your brother.
Oh, no, not my brother. Those are my cousins.
Oh,
They are living in
oh,
Australia.
oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they are living in Australia and they grew up there. Yeah, even though they're also Filipinos, like both of their parents are Filipinos, they actually don't know how to speak Tagalog. Yeah, they don't
Oh,
know how to speak our native language, which is sad.
so you just communicate with English in English?
Yes. When they come
Oh,
here, we're like, "Hey, Camille, hey,
oh,
McDaniel,
oh. His name's Daniel.
McDaniel, Mac."
Oh,
Like
McDaniel.
McDonald's
Oh,
is McDaniel.
oh. I
Mm.
never have this name.
So
McDaniel.
it's
Oh,
quite a popular name
oh, really?
there.
In Australia?
Yes, I think McDaniel's. No, Jack Daniels is Jack Daniels. Because Jack Daniels is I think it's Jack Daniels. It's a liquor or it's alcohol.
Oh, really?
Yeah, McDaniels is an alcohol.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. So even in Australia, they still have the common names.
Yes.
Oh,
So they have like this
okay.
Australian names, Australian
Oh
full
yeah, that's
names.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That, okay,
Okay
that's
then.
cool.
So, okay, so are you ready for our module? So
Okay.
let's continue from where we left off. By the way, have you eaten dinner? Dinner, sorry. Have you eaten breakfast already?
Not yet, but we can start now.
Sure. Okay, so let's check the last time, your work last time. Okay, so for the question number one, the question is climate change the same thing as global warming?
Okay, my answer is yes. Climate change and global warming are the result of the de destructions of the natural balance.
Okay, so yes, climate change and global warming are the results of the destruction of Earth's balance. Okay, results of the destruction of nature's balance. Yes. Okay, I think this is passable. Okay,
Oh, really?
yeah. Climate change and global warming are the results of the destruction. Okay, I think it would be better though if we put here, uh, are the results of the oh, human destruction of the nature's balance. The nature's balance.
Oh, human
Mm,
destructions. Hmm.
mm. So, okay then. So, yeah, so can you please read it?
Okay. Yes, climate change and global warming are the results of the human destructions of the natural balance.
Mm, okay, so do you have any questions about it?
Um, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. Question number two. How do we know climate change? Please give three evidences.
Okay. My answer is first, higher frequency of and stronger typhoons. Second, extreme climate, more hotter or colder than before. Finally, easy to see the drops around the world.
Mhm. Okay, so
Hold it.
that okay. Wow, you're editing
Yeah.
it on your own.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let's see. First, higher tendency and stronger typhoons. I think you might probably say higher frequency of stronger typhoons, not and stronger typhoons. Yeah, it's like, like when you say frequency, meaning like how frequent it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So then we can say higher frequency of higher frequency of stronger typhoons. That is right. Have you heard what happened, I should say, in Japan? It's
Yes.
crazy, but I think that aside from it, the crazier thing I should say is that have you seen their flood?
From?
Flood. Have you seen the flood in Japan? Like after the
No.
typhoon, there's the flood, right? Like the water, like what do you call this? Like the subway station, like their streets have been flooded. Like there's flood
Yes.
everywhere. And you know what's the crazy part there? That's the
Really?
first time that I've seen a flood that as clear as a swimming pool.
Oh,
Yeah, like if you're going to, because when I see floods in China or like flood in America or even the flood here, the floods in those places and here are so they look so dirty because like the water would come out of the sewers, right? Yeah,
sewer?
like like the water canals.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yes.
So the waters would come out, and sometimes I mean, their sewers are where the rats would live, right? Or like some of the pests. But
Yeah.
in the pictures that they've shown, it was crazy. Like the water was so clear.
In Japan.
Yeah. And those are flood.
Oh,
I was expecting for the flood in Japan to be at least a little bit dirty, but the water were just so clear. It was crazy. I
oh,
couldn't believe it. Like I think I could even drink the water from the streets, from the flooded
oh,
streets.
really?
But I would do it, of course. But I feel like you can still drink those because those were just so clean.
Yes, even the frog in Japan, right?
Yeah. Crazy. And have you seen like their post? Like there are just some Facebook posts of like um like there were just this landslides, and then by the what do you call this? There are just landslides on the side of the mountains. And so what the government did was that immediately they made a temporary roads. Yeah,
Roads.
temporary roads. And they did those overnight. I mean, like they did those in 24 hours.
Oh,
Yeah. So they determined some areas of those side I mean those roads that are by the side of the mountains. And when they determined those, they immediately made those those roads, those temporary roads. And I was like, that is so cool. Like, how could Japan do that and we can't?
yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's,
hmm
that's true.
I would love to live in Japan. Yeah,
Really?
well, though I just don't like their, how do I put it? I just don't like that the culture is more on men. Like, yeah,
Men?
like culturally they have this culture of that they agree more on men, like men are stronger than women.
Oh,
mm,
yes, that's
yeah,
true. But but now it's not.
not that
Maybe
much.
it's not the. Yes.
I see. Well, I think I agree with you. It's not that much anymore, but yeah, well, probably I'll leave them there then. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, so you really consider about this
Sorry.
to live in Japan?
If I what?
So you have been consider about these things?
Well, I mean, I think about it, but it's not something that I think I would really do because, for me, I would consider more living on
U.S.?
US, yeah, or living in a place that speaks English.
Oh yes. Oh, English.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
like
That's true.
it's hard to learn the language while living in another country. And I mean, like, I mean, who knows? Because I'm a very suspicious person. So who knows if people are thinking of doing something bad against me, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
mean, at least I could understand them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm very
Mm.
suspicious.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. US is more free than.
Well, I could understand them more. I'm not saying that they are more, that it is safer to live there, but at least I could understand them more than people from other countries. And I already know their
Yeah,
culture, so it would be hard.
that's
Yeah.
true. Because maybe in Japan you can speak English
But
to go everywhere. Yes.
yeah, but not a lot of people could speak English as well, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, just very inconvenience.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sometimes people is just speak Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
Japan language.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
Nice.
that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, that was like a really cool thing. Yeah. So it's unlike here though, when you come here, most of the people could really speak English. Yeah.
Yes.
They would understand you also. Yeah. So, okay, so
So
let's check the next one. Why is it a problem if the Earth's average temperature gets warmer? Why would it be a problem?
okay, my answer is higher temperatures than normal conditions will let the glacier melting. That will cause the sea level rising.
Mm, okay, so let's see. Okay, so the higher temperature, glacier melting. Okay, um, higher temperature. I think it's probably not higher temperature. I mean, like, I get what you mean. Technically, it's correct, but in a sentence like this, it would be better to say warmer temperature.
Oh, warmer,
Oh.
warmer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's the difference? So you just use the warmer
Um,
to describe the temperature.
yeah, because like, I mean, technically your answer is correct, but it's just that warmer temperature, the word warmer is better off in sentences like this. Yeah.
Oh,
So the warmer temperature. Okay, no need for this. Okay, will let. Actually, this I think the common thinking about the word let. So when we use the word let, it's actually for permission, even though it has almost the same meaning as the word make and something like that. So, but when we say let, it means permission. So I don't think the warmer temperature really gives permission, right? So, because
huh?
it's not alive or something like that. So we'll rather say we'll make the glacier melt. We'll make
Oh,
the the glaciers, because there's a lot of them, right? Melt. Yeah,
melt.
you can just say melt and not melting, because it's
Okay.
already happening, so no need for continuous verb, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, that will warmer temperature will make the glaciers melt. And okay, no need for a new sentence. and that causes,
The
yeah,
causes.
that causes, that causes the sea level rising. That causes the rising of the sea level. Okay. So there are, there are words and phrases, not even though like here in this sentence, what happens is that in sea level, the sea level now becomes as a adjective, right? Because it is considering the word rising. So rising here it becomes a noun. So it shouldn't supposed to be like that. Yeah. Suppose
Hmm.
the word rising is a verb here. Okay. Okay, that causes the rise of the sea level. Okay?
Oh, rise of the sea level.
No
Okay.
need for a this one. Okay. So what you think?
Oh, no need of
Yes, no
dash,
need for
right?
a dash.
So you okay, sea level. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions about this? Any more question?
Mm, melt. Will make the connection melt. Uh, and that kills
Mhm.
the rise of the sea level. Um, I can understand of the sentence. Make the glacier melt.
Oh, the one with the
Why
word
we
melt.
why we use mute, not muting?
Okay, so let's see. Warmer temperature will make the glaciers melt. Well, what do I call this? Because it is even though ouch. Okay, even though that this is a present continuous, it something that is happening in the present time and will continue. Um, it's just that it's unnecessary. Yeah. So it's not really needed because you can just simply say it melts or it is yeah, the glaciers melt. Especially like here in this sentence, we use a future tense already.
Oh,
Yeah. So no need for you to say melting.
oh, so muting, that means we just emphasize the this condition is
Mm-hmm.
continuous, right? Oh,
Yep, yep, yep.
okay.
Okay. So do you have any more questions? Okay.
No,
Then if none, um, let's go to number 4. Oh, by the way, can you read this, please?
the
The
question.
answer, the corrected answer for number
Okay.
3.
Oh, number three. Okay. Warmer temperature will make the glaciers melt, and that kills the rise of the sea level.
Okay. So if you don't have any more questions, let's go to number uh 4. Is climate change harmful for plants and animals?
Okay. My answer is yes. The changing climate with its more extreme weathers is really affecting plants and animals.
Okay. I think they feel it the most at first. Yeah, because our bodies, for humans, it's easy for our bodies to adjust, but for them, it's
Yeah,
really hard to adjust right away.
yes, just affect all the stems in the
Mm-hmm.
plant.
True. Okay, so let's see. Yes, the changing climate with this more the more extreme weather is really affecting plants that changing that change. I think it's unnecessary to say more extreme weather because I think even when you say climate change, in its definition, even though it's not that extreme change of climate, the what happens is that the plants and animals are still affected by it. Like a little degree of the change of climate, there's already in it the more extreme weather. So you can just say the changing climate is already affecting plants and animals. Okay?
Oh, okay. So we can just answer the
Yes.
question. So no need to provide another
Mm-hmm.
evidence about
Mm-hmm.
this.
Okay. Hold on a second. 5. What are the most visible signs of climate change?
Okay, my answer is most visible signs of climate change is more extreme weather than before.
Mm. Okay, the most visible signs. I think it's because it says signs, so many. So it's asking for
Yes.
many signs. So not just extreme weather, but it needs more signs. So can you think of more?
Actually, I can think more, so but I can try to think about
Mm-hmm.
this climate change. Uh, visible sign.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, visible sign. Oh, maybe the
What do you think? I think it's not just more of I mean like that's the most visible sign, like the change of weather, right? The extreme change of weather. But I
hmm.
think there's more.
So, uh,
Yeah, I think it could be probably one of the signs is that extreme weather and then the what do you call this? Um Visible signs. Um I think how about soil erosion, right? There's erosion and then there's also um soil erosion, and then lack of natural resources. So there are those.
mm, I think one. Maybe the what that means, the confusion of the flowering,
The confusion of the what? Sorry.
flowering, flowering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Okay, well, we'll just see this then. So the most visible sign, because you only mentioned one, so it should only be sign. The most visible sign,
Okay.
the most. Okay, so we need to use the to emphasis. Okay,
Okay.
the most visible sign of climate change is more is having more extreme weather than before.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay, so let's see. Hmm. Okay then. So, how about number six? What are the benefits of acting on climate change now?
Okay. So my answer is we can substitute the commuter tours by public
We can substitute
transportation.
the middle term. Okay, we can benefits of uh if we I think the meaning of this one, what are the benefits, meaning the effect of acting on the climate change now, right? So I think it's asking, like, for example, if we are going to help now on climate change, what are gonna be the benefits? Like, what are the benefits then that the nature are is going to give us? So that is the meaning of this question. So meaning probably the benefits could be cleaner air, right? Cleaner water and cooler weather. Yeah. So I think
Oh.
I think what you wrote here is what you meant there is that it's not the benefit but rather what action could you do in helping climate change now. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. So what do you think? For you, what are the benefits that you can see if you act on on helping with the climate change now?
Oh, what's the
Mm.
benefit? Uh, maybe we cannot state it directly. How about a reduction of the carbon
Mm.
dioxide?
Reduction of carbon dioxide.
The,
Well,
yeah.
I think if you think about it, like the carbon dioxide is what the plants wants, right? So I think the if we act on now,
Yes.
probably like the ozone layer, like the that layer that protects us from the sun. Because I mean, the reason why we have climate change is because of the greenhouse effect, right? And so if we're
Yes.
going to act on the climate change now, probably the amount of green gases that would bounce here on the earth would be reduced. Yeah, and that
Oh.
means it will be much cooler. Oh, I wish it could happen. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Peter, it's already time. We'll continue with this on our next meeting, okay? Okay. So
Okay.
I just wish you have a good day. And yeah, do you have any questions?
Okay. So I need to
Make another sentence.
answer the yeah, make a sentence for
Yeah,
question
sure. Mm-hmm.
6, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
probably that's gonna be your only assignment or homework.
Yeah.
Okay, see you next.
Okay.